Hey guys, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Happy Saturday morning to you. Wanted to go through some quick information. So from Thursday evening, I posted some stuff on the new 2020 budget showing you it's about 160 trillion, and there's been some confusion between that and what's going on through time. So kind of from since roughly August, July to August, right in there, you guys saw they put a Kurdistan Baghdad had a ton of meetings regarding Article 140, HCL. They already told you that. And then they told you that the meetings would also be to discuss how much money, or I'm sorry, correction, how much oil Kurdistan's going to send to Baghdad per day, and then what percentage of the budget will be given back to Kurdistan. So it's all those variables. But guys, these are steps that have never happened before their post rate change. And then they, going forward after that, they turn around and tell you that reforms were in the budget, reconstruction is in the budget, and I've showed all this to you guys factually. Okay. Now that's where confusion lies. Okay. If you guys look right here at these numbers, okay, you can see the mouse moving around it. Here's the 18 budget, 104 trillion dinar, 2019 budget, 133 trillion dinar, and the 2020 budget, 160 trillion dinar. Guys, that's an increase of almost 30 trillion dinar per year between each of the 3 years, okay? Now, some of you guys jumped out when I posted this and you said that's not enough money to cover the rate change. You're actually correct in that statement, but where the misunderstanding lies is that this money does not, or these numbers do not include government program related items, as I showed you also on Thursday night. That's because these regular budgets, guys, only impact money for just government operating expenses. They don't include government programs, okay? If you go back to around September earlier this year, they came out telling you that they were considering or might do a supplementary budget. And then they said one of the items that would be in the supplementary budget, okay, was reconstruction to improve the Baghdad area. But obviously they didn't do the supplementary budget, but they told you that was for reconstruction. So they're telling you factually that government program related items would have to come from a supplementary budget. That's what they would have to do this year, guys, with regarding the rate change. They would have to approve the general 2020 budget, which that's just government operating expenses. Then what they would do from there is turn around and they would have to do the rate change. The rate change puts the new rate and everything in place, making their currency internationally recognized, to allow them, then they could approve the supplementary budget, then get it implemented. Okay, so that's how that has to happen. Again, they have to do the 2020 budget first, which would not include any of the post rate change items, even though they told you it would. Okay, do the 2020 general budget first, cover government operating expenses, then do the rate change. Then the rate change would allow them to draft a supplementary budget. Then they can implement, that would be, at that point, then they would be implementing all of the demonstrators' demands. Now, and I just told you that, I gave you an example that a supplementary budget for approximately September, which they were talked about doing, but obviously they didn't, would include monies for, again, government program related items, and that would cover reconstruction throughout Baghdad and some other areas. Okay, so there you go. Second, one thing they're not going to do, guys, is show you math for all of the post rate change items. Because if they did it, like if they came out saying, hey, we're going to do a supplementary budget, say sometime in Q1 next year, and then they show you the math in it, you guys would clearly know that they plan on doing the rate change. It would be so obvious. It would be unbelievable. It would be blatantly obvious. They're not going to give you any information you need to calculate a rate change, guys. That's why they can't show this stuff to you. It's that simple. So what they're going to do is that. Let's get into the news. Here's the regular news. Okay, so with the news, President Barham Saleh, the President of the Republic, issues an important statement on the armed attack. Okay, so he's going to discuss the armed attack that recently happened regarding the demonstrations. They're going to declare next Tuesday as a holiday to mark the victory over ISIS. Again, that war ended in December of 17. So that's kind of a celebration of that. And see right here, they're telling you they're doing it on December 10th. That's basically when the war ended in December of 17, was December 10th, historically. Okay. The deputy of Erbil is committed to delivering 250,000 barrels of oil per day to the Sumo Federal Company. Again, that is the oil going to Baghdad. It'll be a requirement per the 2020 Constitution, but they're doing this now because everybody's fulfilling their requirements and obligations. Its World Council reveals the quantities of gold purchased by Iraq during the last 8 years. See if there's any numbers in here. It says that basically Iraq has bought 94 tons of gold during the past 8 years. Okay. You guys can always read that on searchingfordinar.wordpress.com. Urgent. Parliament calls for an emergency session Monday in the presence of security leaders to discuss targeting protesters. Okay, so right now they're going after government officials that targeted protesters for wrong. So they're cleaning up corruption and going after wrongdoing. Again, as you guys know, Trump administration's in charge. The U.S. is the only group or entity that poured trillions of dollars into Iraq without writing loans. Just poured trillions of dollars into Iraq and shed blood. The reason I said without writing loans is because the only time the IMF or World Bank ever gave money to Iraq was in the form of a loan. Okay? Because in the past, many gurus have come out and said that, oh, the IMF or the World Bank gave Iraq the green light. Guess what? They're not in charge. Okay? Trump is in charge of the timing. It's that simple. And that's why recently Pence was there. Now there's another Trump envoy there and so forth. U.S. sanctions militia leaders. This will be kind of where we end off, guys. This, even though they're putting sanctions on militia leaders, guys, this has no impact or timing in the rate change. All right, let's go to the last one. All right, we have the IQD team. They post a lot of good news. The House of Representatives votes on the Electoral Commission Act. Okay, guys, the date, let's see if there's a date in there. They're saying on at the next session of Parliament. Yeah, right here with the mouse, it says in the next session to be presented. So whenever the next session is, sometime during next week, they're going to try to tackle the Electoral Commission Act. All right. Masroor Barzani meets with the American delegation, and I just showed you in the other news clip that that Baghdad and stuff would be meeting with a Trump American delegation. Iraqi Kurdish hands over oil Baghdad for the first time. Again, that's to that's given the daily requirements of oil back to Baghdad from Kurdistan. Urgent block of wisdom. U.S. sanctions against Iraqi forces are a clear violation of national sovereignty. And ironically, there's no text with that one at all. No news. Just it's more of like a title and a than that blue banner. Trump envoy visits Baghdad and Erbil. Again, that's because the Trump administration's in charge. Al Rafidin issues a statement regarding the advance of 250 million dinars to state employees. Okay, that's that right there. They're just basically telling you they're going to do loans and so forth. Loans and grants in the form of meals. Well, it's money, but it's about grants and so forth. Oil denies importing this substance, confirms this entry permits. That's not real important news. All right, guys, so there's your daily news. Until the next video, guys, have a great day.